Hello, beautiful people. Welcome back to the Taylor Lee podcast. Thank you so much for joining me today on the podcast. I'm so excited and I'm going to drive straight in because this week we have a bit of a bonus episode for you. A couple of weeks ago now, I was on the Raw Reality podcast, which is a podcast hosted by two of my best friends, Tori and Lily, and my other best friend, Riley, and I had the pleasure of joining them. So we spoke about friendship. We did some get to know us kind of questions, which I organized, classic mum of the group things. And then we also spoke about business. So I don't want to hold you here for any longer because it is a long episode. So let's dive straight in. Be sure to share it on your socials if you enjoyed this episode. And I can't wait for you to have a listen. Have the most incredible rest of your day, wherever you're listening to this from.
Welcome back to the Raw Reality podcast. We have an extra special episode today. We have two guests who haven't
Riley's been on before.
Well, we all know who the favorite is.
I was like, have we? No. Oh, yeah, because you at the other studio.
Yeah.
Duh. Well, we have the girls here today because Riley's back from Bali and Taylor has finally come down to the Gold Coast.
Yeah, and we've just
she did make some trips.
synced it up. So do you guys want to say your name so we know who voice is whose?
Hi, I'm Riley.
Hi, I'm Taylor.
Oh, cute.
Look at that.
All right, so today we kind of just wanted to see where the podcast takes us, to be honest. But Taylor, of course, has written us some questions. And we were just discussing on the way here how iconic it is that it's our podcast. Taylor's written the notes. Riley has no idea what's going on. Lily's along for the ride, and I'm planning with Taylor.
Also, if you're not aware, Riley and Taylor, we went to Europe with them last year, if you're new here, and we travelled around there for a month. Absolutely had the time of our lives. And now we live separately. So obviously Tori and I live together, and then the girls live in Sunshine Coast, and then Riley's wherever she wants to be. And that's that.
Riley's a drifter. Riley gets around.
Just for a little bit of a background story there.
Yeah. Well, should we get into some questions?
I think we should just get straight into it.
Yeah.
Don't you worry,
Taylor's taking the reins on this. We are going to start with some questions to keep it somewhat light.
Just so you can learn about them too.
Us, and then we're going to go into a bit of a chitty chat and then finish with some saucy questions.
And Lily and I have no idea what any of these.
I've had a gaze at them, but not like I know each question.
Okay.
But it's also like the outfits are synced. Like Riz and I are wearing jeans and black top, and you guys are wearing like a nice like lighter nude top as well. Neutrals. Yeah. Anyways.
Vibes. Okay, well, the first questions are very much the vibe of like everyone's going to have an answer.
Okay.
Like we're going to go like around the group.
I love this. Yep.
So Lil, I'm going to start with you with this first question.
Okay.
If you could trade lives with any of us for a day, who would it be and why?
Oh. Okay.
Why is this already funny?
Okay, trade lives for a day. Okay, right now in my current position, it's going to be Riley because we're in a very similar season. But I care too much in comparison to Riley. So I want to know how it feels to not care.
Oh, I get you.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Because Riley's not like detached. I'm attached. And I would love to learn to just like not give a fuck. And that is why I would swap lives with Riley. Very surface level here.
No, it's so funny because I picture you living a day in my life in Bali. She would not cope.
Exactly the reason why.
I love it.
That's hilarious.
I love it.
Do you want to go, Ross?
Yeah. Oh, I don't know. I feel like, okay, I'm going to actually say you, Lil, because I would love to know what it feels like to have prepped for 20-something weeks and be in the position you are. I'll never find out.
Yeah.
I'll never find out because I'll never do it. So I just feel like being in your body for a day, living your life for a day, if that's what we're saying.
Yeah.
Like living in your body, then I want to be you for a day.
Yeah, that's fair. I get that.
And similar stages in life. So I just feel like that's me accepting my fate.
Yep. Nice.
I honestly had the same answer. I more so too like not so much the prep, but like the competing and being on stage.
Yeah.
Because it's like, I could do it if I wanted to, but it'll fuck everything up. So
it's just I just want that 24 hours, get me on stage, that lean, and we'll do the whole thing.
See what
and
it
then
feels like
see
to be
later.
that string lean bean.
Yeah.
And that's about it.
Yeah.
I love it.
And then circle back.
And pop out again.
Taser.
Mine would be you, Riley, purely for like the Bali life because I don't want to commit to that myself. But if I can go slay for a day, I'm off living a Bali life.
Yeah.
But then I'm back to Oz after 24 hours.
Yeah.
That would make sense for you.
Yeah.
Back to comfort.
Yeah.
Back to my home.
Back to my house. Okay, Tori story.
Okay.
Most memorable drunken adventure together.
With the four of us?
Yeah.
I'm going to say Italy.
Oh.
Funniest afternoon of our entire lives.
Because it was just iconic. What was it called?
One fire.
One Fire Beach Club in Italy, in the Amalfi Coast. It was just one for the books. I've never seen Riley so drunk.
Yeah. Either.
I don't think we've ever all been
Yeah,
as
and
drunk
just
as we
the-
were then.
the-
At that
walk
time
home?
of day, that was the
Yes,
thing.
true.
Because it's different if it's 2 a.m. It was 3:30 p.m.
PM.
I think the thing that threw all of us is no one was like sick drunk to the point of vomiting. It was like we almost were so drunk, but we never took it that next. Did you?
No.
Oh,
I
okay.
literally just laughed.
But like that next level, so we're all just like so fun, crazy, and no one had to take care of each other.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it was so good.
Yeah.
I did fall down the ramp.
She
I
did.
was
and
just
then-
about to tell
Oh,
that
yeah.
story.
Okay, you tell it. I think because you watched it.
Because you lost the
I
GoPro
dropped
first.
the GoPro, yeah.
Tori drops the GoPro in like this ramp into the water, like this a beautiful like Italian coastline. And Tori's like, fuck, the GoPro starts chasing after it. It's mossy. Tori, oh no, you were just like,
No, she
I
chased.
oh, Riley chases, like yeets herself into the water, drunk as fuck, and then just ass up from this moss, just like scratches all over her back. And then Tori's like, oh, Riz. And then she starts going over it. And then there's a slide there. I don't think you fell as drastically, but I
No,
think you had a
but
bit
it
of a
hurt.
slip.
We
Oh.
slipped.
I wish I saw that.
My shirt's still stained. I have not got the moss stains out of that shirt.
Wow.
That was
Iconic.
funny though. God, it was funny. And nothing is funnier than swimming when you're
How good is it?
Yeah.
I just remember being in a floaty with Lil and we were
Yeah.
just like
Yes.
boffing.
But just trying to get on top of that floaty for a good like 2 hours, I'm going to say.
I was doing flips into the
And
water,
also,
unsure how.
Of course.
you're on the Amalfi Coast, like there's no surf.
Oh, it's just flat and beautiful.
But all of a sudden, there was surf. And it's like the other thing that changed was what I was drinking. You know,
Yes.
nothing happened to the ocean.
Plenty of shots.
It was
And
so funny.
what are they called? Limoncello shots.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, funniest afternoon of my life.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was good.
Taylor, you go.
Mine had to be London, the first night in London.
Oh.
So picture this. The girls have, mind you, just done like 36 hours of travel pretty
Yeah,
much.
just about.
Flown in. And poor Lil at this point too had gone Perth to Brisbane to Gold Coast. I don't even fucking know. Like she just
Back to
did a
Sydney.
shit show
Yeah.
of travel. They land early in the morning. We spent the whole day and then we had Magic Mike.
We did.
Went to Magic Mike. Weren't really drinking or anything. And then after the show, we got invited to have some cocktails.
Yep.
Don't even know what happened there. Got pretty drunk. Ended up at some club. And then we were just like dancing on these tabletops. Like, I don't even know what the fuck
It was
happened.
like club, but another club.
No, I tell you what was so funny is the fact that
the sparkly pink light up butts on the way
no,
home.
that's why it was so funny because like I started crying. I was like, I can't do this any longer. But they took me home on a pink scooter thing, like
like the most expensive transport home, but like it was iconic. So we
and
had to do it.
dropped me off, like wave, and then goes back to city in this pink scooter thing.
Literally got out,
With
guys.
the music
can you wait
going,
for us?
it would have been like T-Pain or something, and you're just
Yeah.
like cruising.
If
through
you
London.
are unsure of the visual of this, go watch my vlog.
Yeah.
and you will
Yeah.
understand.
yeah. Lil gets dropped home. We go back to the club.
Get
Or-
home. Did we go home like 5?
I have no idea.
Way too late because I thought I was going
I
to die.
just remember we were in this underground, like the club closed,
Oh, wait,
and then
no,
we went to another
yeah, that was
underground,
scary.
and we were so like, I
Exiting.
think we're gonna die.
Don't take me back there. No, it was like an outer body experience because the club upstairs was so fun. Like good music, good people, like good vibes. I was like chatting to this girl dancer. Like,
Windmill.
yes,
It's called
it was
the
called
Windmill.
Windmill. I was chatting to this girl dancer like all night, like literally a vibe. And then we're like, oh, there's an underground club. Let's
Getting like a little bit.
let's have a look. The second we got down, we were like, how the fuck do we get out of here?
And it spiraled down.
Yes.
Oh, it wasn't just like a
I actually
flight
don't
of
remember
stairs
going
into
down.
the ground.
I don't
It
either.
kind
I
of
just
went,
remember being down.
No, I do. It went like 2 or 3 times down. And then when you got there, the roof was pretty shallow.
Oh, it was really
I
like
think the universe made me cry, so I didn't have to experience
you
that.
would have died.
Yeah.
It was full on. I've got one video. It went for 7 seconds, and I think then we exited.
Honestly, we
Like,
weren't there for
see
long.
ya.
We were like,
No.
let's get out.
What's yours?
Full on. I don't know. Honestly, One Fire probably like takes the cake for me
Yeah.
because that was so funny. And to be fair, when have we all ever really gotten drunk together? Like
Yeah,
Europe,
like
we
that
went
drunk.
out 5 times
Yeah.
probably the whole time.
Yeah.
So these are our only
London, Italy,
yeah.
Greece.
That's it. Because
Yeah.
we've gone out, but we're not all equally like as drunk.
Ready for one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I think 1-5 because that was the funniest shit of my life.
Yeah. Lily?
Nice. I'm actually going to say Tropicana because I don't love like going out, and that's probably like the first time I actually had fun the whole night and like wasn't checking the time to constantly
The
like
music there
go
was
home.
fire.
That's also why, and like you just felt like the main character on top of those benches. Nothing is going to take away that feeling.
It was pretty elite.
And we didn't pay for a single drink.
Yeah.
No, we didn't.
And
I
that felt
just
good.
still remember when Lil was standing on the table. You're like, I don't feel so good. And then you went to the bathroom, you'd had a spew, and you just came back and you're just eating a gyros.
But I also sculled a liter of water
by
too.
yourself. And then you came back and you were good to go again.
Yeah.
Mine was being like secretly getting off the table, running down to the DJ decks, getting up the top, and then FaceTiming the group from the other side and being like, hey guys, look at the DJ.
Oh, that
It's
was
just
so
Tori
fucked.
standing up the front.
Oh,
It was
God.
fun.
Yeah, that's
So
good.
good.
Yep, that's good.
Iconic. What's the most unexpected or surprising thing you've learnt about yourself in the past year?
Oh, about yourself.
Jesus.
Exiting the chat.
Okay, I just need to preface a few things. So our first meeting was 2022, February.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So just like a quick little story, if you haven't heard, mine and Riley's Instagram got hacked. That's how we connected. Then all the girls from like the Sunny Coast were coming down to the Gold Coast. Lily flew up to Gold Coast that weekend, like just wasn't even planned, obviously. And then we all caught up, went to breathwork, and then ended up going out. And like that's kind of where our friendship began. And I would honestly say since that point in 2022 to now is like the biggest like what has happened.
In every single one of our lives,
Yeah.
everyone has grown drastically, like ridiculous amounts. Like
Like
we are
just-
not the same people.
Remember those little girls sitting at the collective, like
Whoa.
having dinner?
Like, it's funny.
It is funny.
It's
The conversations we had compared
Mm.
to, where we're at in life, business, friendship now, it's like, it just is like, and that's only 2 years.
Mm.
It's crazy to think that it has only been 2 years because so much has happened in all of our lives. Like, even just down to where we've all lived.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There have been so many living situations,
Yeah.
trips, relationships, friendships, career stuff.
Mm-hmm.
It's insane.
It
Has
is.
anyone got an answer yet?
No.
So what was the question, the biggest thing you've learned about yourself?
Yeah, unexpected or surprising.
I think, would just say resilience. I've just learnt that I'm resilient.
Yeah.
You always say that as well. Like I feel like that's a very pivotal thing for you.
Yeah.
In the last, 6 months.
Well, it's funny because I think I've always said it and now
Yeah.
I'm like, oh,
Makes
Yeah,
sense.
I see it.
I see. Yeah.
Mm.
Or I actually am.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, one more time.
What's the most unexpected or surprising thing you've learnt about yourself in the past year?
I think I'm like similar in a way that learning how to be happy alone, I never thought that was actually going to be a thing. And then having my back no matter what situations gets thrown at me. Like I feel like the past 6 months or even year now, I've really learnt to just like trust myself and be okay with myself and not rely on other people like I have been my whole life. And I think I never would have gotten to that point. So yeah, I'd say that.
I love
I
that.
think for me, it's like in the last 2 years, as much as it surprised myself, but it's also a credit to you guys in our friendship, but like stepping into like who I truly am and what I want to do, but knowing that I have like full support no matter what I do, how I do it, what I don't do. And I literally wrote this on my story this morning because I was like, no matter what decision I make, I know I'll have yous. And that's just like, it just allows you to really make a choice for yourself and just like really solidifying in who you are and what you want to do.
Love.
Don't cry. It's too early.
I
early.
will.
She's got tears in her eyes.
Taylor, you're up.
I think for me in the past year, I'm like thinking to like even who I was in Europe to like now.
Oh, we're all different people.
Actually wild. I think I've just come into like we actually can't. Like I've just learnt how much I'm just like anchored in like my own values and morals and really just move in alignment with that, and I don't really get taken out of that with no matter what other people are doing. I'm still just like, no, this is my thing.
For you, I would almost say like since Europe, yes, but
3 months.
yeah,
There's something happened in the last 3 months with you.
this, like just the way you've like. I'm gonna use the term like grown up.
Yeah.
Like not in like a physical term, but like you just said, you've just truly stepped into yourself, and you're like, I don't give a fuck. And I think like it's even inspired me because I'm like, you've just gone balls against the wall in business, in relationship, in everything, and it's like so inspiring because we've seen you grow and all that sort of stuff. So then to see it from like looking from an outside, it's like she's done that. Like
Yeah.
she's put in the work. She's put in the work, and it's like, and you probably see it too, being away from her day to
It's
day.
authenticity. It's like that's the biggest thing. I'm like,
Yeah.
you're just 100% yourself now.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And it's never watered down. It's never filtered. It's never, you just don't waver. You don't waver. It's like, this is who I am. This is what I do. These are the people I love. These are the people that love me. And this is how
These are the people I hate, and I'm not moving my thoughts around that.
Yeah.
But also, like you're really strong around your boundaries and standards of like, I'm actually not going to give energy to things that don't serve or support me. And I think that's huge.
For that reflection. I think it's definitely, I'm like going to second what you said, Tor, around like your environment though, like when I've got like my friendships and like even my relationship with Isaac and then my family as well. I'm like, when that feels solid,
Yeah. It's easy
you're just
for
like,
you
I'm
to
actually
move.
unfuckwittable because it's like I've always got like my people where that I can like send it. I always know I've got someone to call if I need.
Yeah.
I think that definitely helps as well, and just like just unplugging from a lot of things as well.
When you have those like your people, you're not afraid to make a decision because you know that if it's wrong or right, those people will be there. So it feels easier.
Burst into tears.
All right, Taylor, next.
And moving on. Okay, this one's a bit rogue.
Okay, we're here for it.
Funniest or most awkward thing that's happened to you in sex?
Oh my God. I cannot.
That was a bit of a gear shift.
I cannot say this.
No, I don't. Okay, I need to. Okay.
I can't say the actual thing. I think it's one of those funny things that you could tell a story, but not the story.
Yeah.
Because why would you
Yes.
ever air that?
No, I couldn't. I don't think I could air my to you guys, not on the pod. So we'll talk about that later.
Yeah, I'm really interested.
Nothing
During
like
sex.
comes to mind for me.
Yeah.
Like, I feel like I'm just like a laugher-offerer.
Yeah, same.
Laugher.
Yeah.
Like whether you've like farted or queefed or like.
I feel like I also haven't had experiences with like other people to like have funny stories, because when it's with your significant other, nothing feels like
Embarrassing.
embarrassing.
Or, like,
Yeah. And then that doesn't actually stick with you because it's kind of like normal and whatever.
I feel
Could
like
we
yours
say-
you shared on the pod. Like a pretty awkward
Yeah.
one. I feel like you shared, but I'm like not going to say it in
No,
case
could you say it? Because I'm sure that I would have.
If you have it, awkward.
Oh, yeah. I'll say it. Fuck it. Whatever.
Have you said it on the pod?
Yeah, I have.
Okay.
And you cracked it at me.
So don't say it again.
No, I won't.
Who cracked it?
Oh, mate.
I don't
Anyway,
even know
say
what
the
this
Yeah, you do. We were, so obviously I got a brand new bed last year, and then literally, I completely forgot about this.
Literally.
And then we're about, I don't know, like maybe a few minutes in, and we're like, the bed's kind of feeling like really rocky. I'm like, oh, surely it's fine. Next minute snaps fully in half, and like the whole thing breaks.
New bed too.
New bed, and I was like, you're fucking kidding me. And
But hey, blessing in disguise because your new bed is stunning.
so much better,
Yeah,
right?
yeah.
So it was actually meant to be. That, yeah, I do remember. Yeah, thanks for that, Tay.
That is funny.
Yeah.
Ironic for the whole just like situation, because like a new bed's also going to arrive, Lil, and it's going to be way better.
Yes, this is true. We love our new bed.
Okay. Yep. Next.
Next question.
Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yep.
Last thing you searched on the internet.
Oh.
So we'll get our phones up.
Mine was a what did I look up last night? The dog.
Oh, the dog. A teacup something
The
poo.
teacup multi-poo. I didn't even know that was a type of dog, but it's fucking cute. It's like a teacup poodle.
Yeah.
A teacup poodle. Do you
Tiny.
know what this reminds me of? Bali. So these dogs walk around and you look at them and you're like, what in the mixed bag are you?
Yes.
There are so many breeds
Oh.
happening in one dog that you're like, who knows what it is?
Yeah. How
They're
do you
cute.
tell? Yeah.
You can't.
Well, that was my last. Or Muscle Republic.
cannot.
'cause
I was
that
about to
is
say
the other one.
Muscle Republic flares.
Yeah.
So boring.
Spawn.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Use code Tori at checkout.
I think mine was an Airbnb.
Oh yeah.
Not exciting.
Also classic.
Yeah.
Where am I
Mine's
living next?
Tracking my shipment that's arriving to your house today.
Oh yes. Yeah. Okay.
Nice.
Cool.
So,
Pretty boring,
okay,
really.
we've got shut the
No, I mean our answers are boring.
fucking hell, bitch. Okay, everybody. When was the last time you were jealous of someone in the group and why?
Oh.
See you later.
Okay, jealous of someone in the group.
I can say I've got it.
Go for it,
Go
Reese.
for gold.
So I would say equal parts Tori Taylor because of a relationship.
Okay, yeah.
Not jealous in the sense that I was angry towards you or anything like
Yeah.
that, but more so envious of like, fuck you guys, like you have the partner and you're solid and you're this and you're that. And I think in any moment that I was either just going through it or really craving that, if I'd go onto Instagram and then see you like Sunday with my partner or
Yeah.
out for dinner, I was like, yep.
That hurts.
It must be nice.
Okay.
But never jealous. I don't
Yeah.
really like the
I
term
know,
jealous because it's
yeah.
not jealous. I'm more just, I'm so happy for you, but I'm like, oh, I would love to have that in this moment.
Yeah.
Do you want to know what's interesting?
Okay.
Mine, let's go similar standpoint. With you, different. I'm like, why the fuck am I getting rejected so much? And then yours is just like, people are staying. And I'm like, cool.
I was like, can't get these
Wait.
men out of my DMs.
But like, it's not jealous, but I was like, wow, that's so interesting.
So just on that, you haven't actually said the update.
No, because that quite literally happened last night. But this is going live in a few weeks. And I think we're going to interview Annabelle first.
True. All right.
But then Annabelle, that's really interesting.
Yeah, because she has updates from our last podcast.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'll just wait because she obviously knows.
And by then, everyone will know. Okay,
Yeah,
whatever.
anyways.
I'm jealous. Okay. Shit. Taylor, do you have one?
No, I'm trying to think.
Because I've got nothing to be jealous about. All right, like, oh, yeah, okay, wouldn't that be nice?
Well, mine, lately would have been like you in like competing.
Yeah.
But then again, not being able to not eat.
Yeah.
Being grumpy.
It's like all of us, it's not a jealousy thing. It's like a, oh, would be nice type vibe, you know?
Or like Riz like living single life in Bali for like a split moment. You know what I
Isn't
mean?
that so funny? And
Yeah.
this is the biggest example of wanting what you don't have.
Yes.
I'm like,
Always.
oh, you guys are home and you're settled and you have a partner. And then I'm like, I'm single, I'm in Bali.
Yeah.
My life
Because
is
then I think like,
in a
okay,
suitcase.
if I was single and in Bali, what would I want? And it would be what I have now.
Yeah.
1000%. So it's like,
Be where you are.
yeah.
Yeah.
Period.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd probably just say like Bali, but like specifically like having my bed made and like food
The
being
luxury
cooked for me,
things.
like all the things. I'm just like slow.
I
Yeah.
got home and I'm like,
How do I do
it was
live?
a couple of nights in, I'm like, Taylor, fuck, I don't want to cook tonight. Like, this is so shit. Like, then I have to clean up.
Yeah.
Then
It
I
comes
have
with a whole lot of other things.
Ugh, the admin.
Yeah.
I'm going on the same theme. When was the
Okay.
last time someone in the group hurt your feelings and why?
Oh, this is so interesting because I have to think so hard.
Hurt my feelings. I don't think I've ever been hurt by any of you.
Yeah,
Or does should we change it to like upset you?
Yeah, okay. Or
Frustrated
second guess.
you?
or just triggered.
Yeah,
Triggered or
Let's say that.
frustrated.
I feel like triggered's probably better because it's not the other person's fault.
Yeah. It's like what you're doing.
I have frustration.
Why did you look at me when you said that?
Okay, so Tori does this thing.
Is it to do with the kitchen?
Yes. It's always to do with the kitchen. So when she's done with the bin, she just decides to tie a knot instead
Yeah,
of take
I
the
don't take out the
fucking
bin.
bin out.
That's
So
Jackson's job.
Every
you know
time I
this.
go to use the bin, I'm like, oh my God, she's tied it.
No, I haven't been tying it. I've just been folding it over.
Yeah, but it's okay. So can't put anything else in it essentially. So I have to go, and I'm sorry, but Jackson's not good at taking the rubbish out continuously.
Yeah, well, that's why I
Well, 'cause
leave
he's
it
never
there
home.
until he opens it and goes, fuck, I need to take the rubbish out. But then you do it. I'm like, oh, shit. No, he doesn't see it.
That's about it. As far as that goes.
That's as bad as it's getting around here, not the bin tied up.
That's funny.
Yeah.
I don't think I have any because I haven't been here for a long time. I mean, like it's been months since anything, but I would say that we're all just mirrors for each other in different ways.
Mm.
Yeah.
Like that's the biggest thing that comes to mind where if I get frustrated at Tay for something, it might be because she's like super organized or needs a plan or has to know, and that might annoy me, but then it would just equally annoy her that I don't need a plan and I'm not organized. So it's kind of like if I get frustrated, it's just because I'm not that way and vice versa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Tasia really thinks she was like, I'm going
Do
deep.
you have anything? Have you got?
Nothing comes to mind.
Yeah, I'm
I
just
would
a
say the
perfect
same as
housemate.
Riz. Like,
I was like, I do no wrong.
I just feel like it's never a point of jealousy, or like it's more of like a triggered thing, but nothing in particular comes to mind
Yeah.
right in this
I'm
moment.
really just frustrated that this is the first time we're seeing each other in so fucking
Oh,
long.
Yeah,
yeah.
also that.
Yeah. You know, nothing's really coming to mind. Maybe after the weekend.
Yeah, we're
Oh,
spending the whole
circle
weekend
back.
together, guys.
Touch base Monday.
Yeah.
Unpopular opinion that you have.
Oh,
Unpopular.
In the group or just in general?
Just in general. It could be, anything.
I was like really thinking deep about this in comparison to everything else. I feel like I have heaps of unpopular opinions.
I've got one.
Okay.
Banana and salted caramel in your yochi is actually a huge hit.
That's actually fucking disgusting.
And I got so much shit from Isaac and Taylor about it.
Wait, why?
It's nice, right, to have
Wait,
banana in your yochi.
See, I love
As a
banana,
topping.
but I'm off fruit in yochi. Yochi is dessert. It's not a sai.
Mm-hmm.
This is my standpoint.
But
Yeah.
I hate banana, but I see like I put strawberries on my chocolate yochi.
But she gets the thing that's like, it's this bowl of chopped up bananas drowned in salted caramel, and it just looks like these off melting bananas.
Okay, I can see if that tastes good because I love peanut butter and banana. So
Yeah.
I can get that vibe.
So maybe you're unpopular in this opinion.
I do hate bananas, so I think
Yeah,
that's
yeah.
gonna
Well, it's like when
True.
people do like chocolate covered bananas or like salted,
Yum.
like I see how that works. Personally hate bananas, but I see
Yeah,
it.
same.
Okay, why?
I don't know. I do know actually. I hate the flavor and the texture sucks.
And the smell.
The smell is
I
awful.
love banana. I've had 2 today already.
So do I.
It's
Lil.
12.
But I can have it in a smoothie as long as it's not too
Same.
banana-y. Yeah.
Wow.
and I like banana lollies.
I get
Yeah.
that, but they're not my go-to.
Yeah.
Wow.
That's about it for the
Nice.
unpopular opinions.
Yeah.
I need, what's my unpopular opinion?
If we thought about it, we would have so many.
100%. It's just hard to think off the top of your head.
On the spot.
You can cut out the blanks.
Oh, I actually do have one.
Okay.
And Lil, you're going to be jumping on my bandwagon because this is a conversation we've had
I'm ready.
around comparison.
Oh, here we go. Let's go.
But I cannot fuck with the comparison conversation where it's like, I just compare myself to her from the lens of you competing as an example,
Yeah.
right? Like training in the gym. It literally makes no fucking sense for me to go, but Lil's so jacked and she's shredded and she looks good on stage and it literally makes sense that
Yeah.
you look better.
And then vice versa. It's me saying, I'm so fucking unorganized. My life is chaotic. Yeah, no shit, because you have nothing laid out in comparison to Taylor, which is like boom, 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 boom.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
Yeah, I feel like a lot of people use the comparison conversation for pulling the victim card where it's
Yep.
it actually just makes sense.
Or it's like, oh, well, they're growing glutes a lot faster than I am. Or maybe they've been on plan for 6 months longer than for you and actually training harder than
Go
you.
to the fucking gym and train your glutes.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, I
Yeah.
completely agree. People use the victim standpoint in comparison when they're not actually doing the work themselves. I always say, the second you're comparing yourself to someone, it's straight up just because you're not doing enough.
Yeah.
That's the reason why.
Yeah, and then so many people don't want to look at whether they're not doing enough.
And then if you actually look at someone as inspiration, it's like, oh, I'm actually doing enough, but that's where I aspired to be.
This
That's
was our
the difference.
conversation in this week's episode that we just recorded. That
Yeah.
is already live. But saying how people keep comparing themselves to other people rather than looking for inspiration of how they can be better, and just sitting in victim mentality and not, like you said, acknowledging the work that they're not doing.
Yeah.
Or reverse engineer the process. Like if someone, we can use all of us as an example. It's like, I could be sitting here, for Lil and thinking well, she's jacked and she's this and she's that. It's like, okay, well, what did she do to put herself in that position?
Yeah.
Same for Tay, same for you, same for me, where, someone could be, I'm so jealous you're living in Bali. It's like, okay, well, what was required to get there?
Yeah.
Or whatever it may be. But it's so easy to just, compare. And
well,
it's
just-
a scapegoat for doing what you need to actually do.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Completely agree. That's a good one.
Others? No?
No.
Moving on? Okay. This is the last one of these type of
Cool.
questions.
Perfect.
If you could steal one quality or talent from anyone in the group, what would it be and why? And I'm going to go first because I know mine. Tori, handstanding.
Are we going to go one each? So you have to pull a quality from every person?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We can do
do
that.
that.
So I'll go around.
Yeah.
Like,
yeah.
okay. Lil, your work ethic, like especially in the gym, like
Yep.
insane. Fucking insane.
Thanks.
I feel like that, I don't know, that's like kind of taking away saying that's a talent, but like I
No,
would
but
like,
yeah, no,
a
I know what you're
trait,
saying.
if
Yeah.
you will. And then Riley, you're just like your mindset of just like your solidness.
Thanks, girls. Mine's easy. Tay would be like organization, structure, the masculine. Just she doesn't miss a beat, guys. In any area of life, those meals are planned out. Like shit's happening.
She's
She's
in
like
my
a
suitcase
well-oiled
last night.
machine.
I feel like
A
you've really
well-oiled
just,
machine.
Yeah.
the past few months, you've really dialed into that too.
Yeah.
Please make it so wrong.
No,
Yeah.
she's getting shit done. I am not. Tori. I would take just acrobatics, like overall. I want to do all of it. I want to
I
do
can
all.
teach you.
I want to flip.
Yeah. And I also want like your Sunday reset drive. Because God knows I'm doing a Sunday reset. And then Lil, I would take, your dedication and just like your willingness to stick to a plan. Like you're so, and to a T. Like there's no wavering from the plan.
No. Okay, Riley, I reckon it's your ability to have duality in both business and life. Like you have the balance more than I know anyone possible, but it's not so much like like a small balance. It's like you can go completely social and go off the grid, whatever you want to do, but then equally you can make the most amount of money you've made in that month. Like, and it doesn't stress you out. Like you're the most calm person. So I feel like I want some of that. That'd be great. Because I feel like if I'm switching off from, like, I can't switch off from work, or, I always stress about fucking everything for no reason. You don't do that. Would love that. Tay, organization, strategic behind business. I feel like you're very smart of thinking outside the box. Like sometimes we go for walks and you say all these things, even for my business. I'm like, how the fuck did you just think of that? Like, what the heck? So I would say your brain, and then Tori,
Your brain.
your creativity.
Oh.
Very creative. Like in everything you do, it's your reels, your content, your business ideas, the branding, like all that creativity.
Wow, thank you so much.
No worries.
I would say the same as what everyone else said, like your strategy behind, like your knowledge for strategy behind everything. Like, yes, you're organized and your structure and everything, but even like Lil said, you do things out of the box, but you do them fucking well, and they prove to work time and time again. So you could just teach me some of that. I would also say your dedication, even when you're fucking tired and you haven't eaten for 3 days. She's still at the gym. But it's like, it's not even just like, oh, rocks up to gym, does the thing. It's doing it with intensity and intention still, no matter what, which we love.
Thank you.
And then Riz, I would say, why are you smiling like that? I would say your ability, very much like Lily, like your ability to, the way you go about business, again, like super calm, but also even just like the way in which you've put yourself in business, like you earn an incredible amount of money and you do, I don't know how to word it. Like it's, I need to think about how I want to word this. And you're all staring at me.
You better think fast.
No, I think it's like, since I've known you, you've always been humbled. You're always humble about what you do and how you do it. But behind the scenes, you're working so hard and you're still creating something epic with your clients or whatever, like you're launching. But then it's your ability to like hold us in what we're going through as well when we may not be at your level, and just like little things like that. It's just inspiring.
Thanks, girl.
Love it. Cool.
That's the end of those questions.
Yeah, those ones.
End of those questions.
That's the end of those questions.
Those questions.
All right, let's move into some. Do you want to go business or friendship first?
Stay with business if we're
Let's stay on
on
this
the chat.
business boat. So basically, today we just kind of want to talk about how, obviously, we're all self-employed. How cool is that, first of all? And we all have different aspects that we focus on. So you guys want to give a bit of a rundown to listeners of what you guys do specifically?
Do you want to go first?
Go, you go.
Okay. So I'm a business consultant. I got into it I studied social media at uni, and then went into social media training, coaching, and it kind of just evolved from there. So I work with service providers, so people like personal trainers, Lil. I keep hassling her all the time.
You'll be so proud of me at the moment. I will come back to you later.
I love. And as you can probably tell from the reflections from the girls, I specialize in strategy because I'm just like the organized, structured, routine queen. I feel like a lot of service providers, I'm going to say 99%, get into what they do because they're good at what they do. So they're a great fitness coach, they're a great health practitioner, whatever it might be, but they don't necessarily know the intricacies of business. So I love working with service providers through that lens and really supporting them with that. And I'm very analytical. So I love like the numbers, the cash flow, and just being able to like strategically scale businesses for service providers and working with them. So that's a insight into what I do.
Love.
I love that. It's such a good way of actually putting it as well in terms of who you support. For me, I am a business coach for pretty much female entrepreneurs.
Hold that thought.
Hold that.
I felt that the whole time. I'm just going to start that again. I'm a business coach for female entrepreneurs, and I started in the health and fitness space. So that's sort of how I got into business initially, because I was a PT, then I pivoted online when COVID hit, and then that moved into more mindset coaching and now into the business space. And for me, the biggest thing that I focus on with clients is always mindset. That for sure is my strength and what I love to do when it comes to mentorship and when it comes to helping people kind of move from the problem that they're experiencing inside of their business to the desired outcome or whatever that transformation is. I always take an 80% mindset approach, 20% strategy, because essentially the way I see it is mindset is like lays the foundation for you being able to build a really successful business. And without that, without having really the belief to support or back what you're executing, you're never going to see the success that you can. And for all of us in business, we get it and we know how much your mindset plays a role in your ability to create success or get to that next level. So that's my biggest, focus inside of business. It's really intelligence, influence, and becoming the go-to in your industry is what I mainly focus on.
Nice.
So we have pretty slayful friends.
Yeah. We're pretty going into business a little bit more. A big question straight off the bat for each of you. What is the hardest thing you have navigated through your business?
For me, if I look, it's been 5 years for me that I've been self-employed. So pretty much since I left school, I've been self-employed the entire time. So obviously I was just 18 when I had started my business. And I think it's a funny thing to say, but I've never really been employed. So that kind of comes with its own challenges in the sense that I don't know what it's like to be employed. I don't really know what it's like to work underneath someone. So I think when you have had that experience, it gives you a different sort of approach, work ethic, perspective, understanding of what it means to work. As weird as it sounds, I've always had to just try and navigate it on my own, from kind of day dot. And I've done, I would say, an incredible job at that. And I'm so proud of myself and all of that. The thing recently that I've found the hardest is just navigating really hard personal experiences alongside running a business. I think, it's easy to show up in your business when things are easy. It is hard to show up in your business when things are hard. And I've been through hard things in my life, but the last 6 months have just been a huge initiation for me to be like, whoa, like when things are really hard, how do you show up then? And I've done a good job and I've done what's required, and I'm so proud of how I've led that season. But I think in entrepreneurship, and everyone experiences this, life will always happen alongside your business. So you want to create a level of healthy separation where you understand that, your business is your baby, and we think about it so often, but you need to understand that, like, yes, you're your brand, but you're not your business. And your business is this external thing that sits over here, and you are a person navigating your life and your human experience. And it kind of comes back into what we were saying around me being able to stay really neutral and grounded and anchored and all the things. I just create the separation. I have a business and I'll do what's required, but I'm a person having my own experience, and I need to honor that, because if I blur the two, that's when shit hits the fan.
A lot of the time with like being self-employed, yes, absolutely. If you're going through it, you can take an extra day off, right? Whatever that may be. But a lot of the time you forget when you're working for someone, you still have to show up and do that job. And sometimes you use that as an excuse with your own business to not show up on a continuous basis. And like I said, it's okay here and there, but you can't go the whole week without doing anything. So it's like you have to still show up no matter what's happening, just like you would at any other job.
Yeah. And the work you do is still always going to be a reflection of what is moving inside of your business. And same goes for a career, where the more, you know, energy and time and attention you're putting into something, the more you're going to gain from that. That's just true with anything in life, you know, whether it be a relationship or a friendship or a job. So yeah, it's been challenging going through a season where I felt like I literally just don't have the capacity to just do anything extra. You know, it was like I can do the bare minimums, and of course there's been periods in that time where I have been able to show up more and whatever else, but it's not really until now, the last month, that I've been like, oh, this is what it feels like to have energy. This is what it feels like to feel good again, because you sometimes don't realize how shit you feel until you feel good.
Yes.
It's having the contrast.
Yeah, that's a good answer.
I feel like mine's like two parts. One was like starting. That was like before I even met you girls, actually. I was like terrified of judgment. Like, I think that's really common for people starting a business, of like, what are people going to think about me? Like, for what we do, like getting on your stories and talking, and you could apply that to anything, like if you're doing content, like influencing and things like that. So that was like a huge barrier that I had to move past, and even seconding like what Riley said before around like mindset and the importance of that in business. Definitely that was a key component for me. And then I think the other part, like late last year, I felt really fucking lost in my business. Like I felt like I was like doing all of the things and like doing what like my mentor at the time was saying. And like, I just remember like so many nights in a row, just like crying to my partner. I'm like, nothing's fucking working. And like, no money's coming in. Like what happens if like, it was just like a really kind of scary time for me, like financially. And then I just like allowed that to be like, this is going to be such a fucking lesson for you, Taylor, like do what's required. And I was pulling like a lot of big days and like all of the things, and really just like found my feet. So like, that's why that reflection from you, Tor, of like earlier of like, you've just like found your thing. I'm like, yeah, it's been like work to just come into like, okay, what's my specialty? Like, what am I known for? And just really focusing on that in business. And months later, it's had that like domino effect. And I think business is like such a perfect reminder where we don't ever see like the instant results of things, and you can't be addicted to instant gratification in business, because you have to be able to trust the process. I was like, hey, realign, shift my strategy, shift what I'm doing. And then it was only like 6 months later now that I'm actually starting to see the byproduct of that, where it's like revenue's now doubled. I'm like, oh, but you don't see that straight away, and you're showing up doing all of the things, like crying to your partner, is this even working? And he's like, you're good, like I've got you, like if anything happens, you're like, okay, cool. And then there's a byproduct of it. So it's also been like such a good lesson as a result, and I can support clients in that too.
Jackson, I was having a conversation with one of the boys from the footy club, Jackson's mate, the other night, and he's the ideas man. Like Lily, after he left, and she was like, I see that, like he's the ideas man, doesn't really execute, but he's got the heart for it. But we were in the car talking about how much people don't understand when you're starting a business, the first 6 to 12 months is you putting back in over and over again, until you then see the revenue go up, or then you start to make a profit, whether that be like a product-based business or online, whatever it may be. But people don't see the revenue and they give up. But it's like you have to be putting back into your business. And it's like, even now for me, starting something new, kind of being confused almost, but it's like, I'm not going to see benefit yet. Like I have to do this for the passion of it before anything else. Because if I don't have that, I'll lose it straight away. And then later on, I know this business will do great, and then I know I'll see profit. But for right now, it has to be passion and purpose.
And it can take years as well. And I think that's the importance of having like the blend of both, of like the mindset and strategy, because it's like, well, if you're just relying, like you need your mindset to like remain solid in those times, but then you also need something that's like, yeah, I'm actually trusting this to work, and I know that that's actually going to be a process. It's the same with you, Lil. Like you need the mindset to go into competing, but you're also following, you know, a nutrition and training program. Like that's your strategy and structure that's going to take you there. So you need them both in business.
I feel like as humans in today's society, we're just getting really lazy. And we want everything right here, right now. It's like, oh, but I just launched a new business, I should be making millions. It's like, that actually can take 15 years. And then people view like, they're like 15 years, I'm out. And it's easier to work for someone else. People get so lazy into having to do the day in, day out thing. And it happens with everything in life. It's even just friendship wise. We didn't form this connection overnight. It's been like, I would say we are way closer now than we were in Europe again, right? And it's the same with your body or your physique. It's not going to happen overnight. It takes years. But when someone says it's going to take you months or years, people pull out. And that's why people don't excel as fast as they want to.
And it's uncomfortable. You know, it's like every single thing that we've been able to achieve or do or move through is a byproduct of being uncomfortable. And most people never want to get outside of their comfort zone in whatever way that is. So whether it's showing up on your stories or starting a new business or doing prep, moving overseas, you could name 1,000 things, but you have to be someone who's willing to do that. So if you want the outcome, be someone who's willing to do what's required to execute it. And I think that's the best thing about our friendship. And it makes sense that we've all attracted each other into our lives, because you will always meet people where you're at. And for us, we are all committed to our evolution in some way. So we're always going to remain a match for each other, because no one's stopped. You know, when we met at the beginning of 2022, we can all sit here and go, it's almost like whiplash every month. Like there's going to be so much movement, so much change, relationship breakdowns, moving states, so much is happening, but it's perfect. And it's the reason we're able to be of support to each other and, be friends and experience the growth that we do. And it's not linear.
Yeah.
I think that's something that a lot of people get caught up in. It's like, it's never linear. You will have incredible months in business and then it might dip again. And then it's reevaluating, okay, cool, what do I need to do? What's required? Same in your relationship. You know, my relationship's going amazing. And then there's a rupture in it and it's like, okay, now what's required? Same with friendships. So it's just the constant commitment in doing what's required.
I had a conversation with Ellie this morning, and you know the quote that I sent you the other day? So one of our friends, Lani, put a quote on her story. Like, you know when you're just like going through something and someone puts a quote up and you're like, oh, I feel
This
like
was meant
this
for me.
was meant for me. And the quote was, you're never going to be comfortable somewhere you don't belong. And so I read it to Ellie this morning because I was talking to her about a recent situation that I've been dealing with this week, and the quote resonated with me because I'm like, where am I feeling so much discomfort? And I was like, that's like I was feeling discomfort in terms of like anxiousness, nausea, like there was like
Physical discomfort.
Yeah. And so that for me was like, this is a sign that I need to change something in this area. But then Ellie was like, I do love the quote and I agree, but I also think the other way you could look at it is some people would look at that quote and be like, oh, if I'm not comfortable, like it's not meant for me. But that's where it's like you have to sometimes lean into the discomfort and understand the different types. Because I'm like, for me, anxiousness, mental health and nausea is like full body, like, what's the word?
Contraction?
Yeah,
Like
where it's like, I know I can feel in me that this is wrong. Like I shouldn't be doing this. I shouldn't be here. This doesn't support me in my evolution. Or is it uncomfortable because it's new, or it's like it's a little bit harder than what I'm used to? And that's where it's like you should lean into that.
I even like use the analogy of like when you're blowing up a balloon, like you're being stretched, and it's like that thing of like, yeah, it's going to be like like it's going to require work. And I even remember like, I can't even remember I think it was like a financial milestone that I like recently hit, but like the week before I was like, got a coffee and I like just sat in my car and cried, and I was like, what the fuck, like why am I feeling so like anxious and shit? And like, but then that happens, and it's like I always believe too, like it's woo, but as soon as you like get to a new level, like you have to like you wobble as you're getting to a new level.
I literally put this on one of my posts the other day, a caption, and again it's like kind of different to business but similar to my prep. The hardest day of my prep, I like was crying. I was like, how the fuck, I have 3 more weeks, there's no way I can keep doing this. I felt so depleted, so off, kept going. The next day we woke up and Beck's like, cool, you're stage ready now, I'm increasing your calories and dropping on cardio. And it's because you kept pushing. I easily could have been like, nah, fuck, there's no way I can do 3 more weeks, or like complained and whatever and just not done the thing. But it's like pushing through those hard times because they're well and truly going to pay off. And whether that's a relationship, whether that you could just give up and be like, oh, we've had an argument, I'm out, or a business, you have the worst dip of your life and you actually lost money and it's like, oh, I can give up, but maybe the next month's going to be the most you've ever made. You just got to keep going.
And there's a huge difference between experiencing discomfort and then something energetically being so
Yes.
off.
Yeah.
Yes.
You know, somatically speaking, when something is so off. And that's the difference, right? Even if we talk about it, you can call it like a big T trigger or a little T trigger, however you want to position it. But if you think about it, sorry, I cannot. But if you think about it that way, when you check in with your body when something is happening, it's like, oh, is this big T or little t? Because if it's a big T thing, it's probably stemming from something in your past or an experience that you have that is essentially like trauma stored in your body, where you're going to have a somatic response. And then there can still be a level of like, I do need to lean in here because there's something that I haven't
Healed.
acknowledged or I'm suppressing. Yeah. Or if it's a little, it's like, okay, what is this? And what about it's making me uncomfortable? Because that's always going to be a huge opportunity for growth. And either way, it's always an opportunity for growth. But you know when something's energetically not it.
Yeah, you do. It's like that internal thing in you. You just know.
Your gut.
Yeah.
Your gut will tell you.
I have a question for you both, or all of you. Where in the online space do you currently see the biggest, like, quote unquote problem, or like what do you feel at the moment you can see? I'm like, is there something there? Like, where do you feel like things are shifting? Because I feel like I've had conversations lately where the online space, but even not even just online space, I think the energy of this year is wild. And I think a lot of people are going through a lot of different things. You know, one of our close friends is completely dropping her full-time business, going back to working for someone else, and like someone's stopping their coaching business and they want to go back to their old business they did. Like, there's so much happening this year, but what do you feel like you can see in the online space at the moment?
Taylor's ready to go. This is her favourite part.
I don't know how to like best language it. I feel like I can speak to it because I've experienced it myself to a certain degree.
Yeah.
I can't with us. Okay. Really, the energy, Riley and I did a podcast and we kind of like naturally went into this conversation the other day actually around like an energy of just like, I think I can see it because when I was like saying that I've felt lost before, like in the past, where it's seeing someone else's success and trying to replicate it yourself, but replicating it to a point you're literally trying to like duplicate someone else. And I can see it in like so many different industries. And I don't know, Lil, like you might see it in like the fitness industry and things like that, where I think it just shows up in different ways where it's the energy of really just like duplicating someone and trying to be that, where you fully lose your own authenticity, you fully lose like your own touch, your own uniqueness, and how you can actually impact people. And I think that's where people get lost, or people, you know, come into spaces for the wrong reasons, where it's like they see success and they're like, cool, I want to do that. And then they duplicate it in that way. And then they're like, wait, this isn't for me because I've lost myself. And then they make the online space or they make the business wrong, where it's like, no, you fully just lost yourself in the process. Like it wasn't the online space that caused it. It was actually just a really incredible mirror for you to see that. And I think people are either going to lean in the way in which where that I've been able to do that now. And like, that's because of my circle where I'm like, wait, see my own thing. And you can actually leverage that to your advantage versus like get sucked into it and where you blend in with the crowd of everyone else. And then I can see that too, even if I look in like the influencing space, even you, Tor, as an example, I'm like, you're different because you like, your story is different and like the content you share is different. Like, it's not just like, in like the most loving way. It's not like, oh, another like Gold Coast girl in a bikini all the time. Like, you know what I mean? It's like, there's actually something there. There's like something raw.
There's substance.
There's authenticity. Yeah, there's authenticity there. And it's like, you're actually just you, and that's magnetic. And I think when everyone tries to just like replicate again for whatever result it is that they want, that's where people lose themselves. And then they're like, everyone's just the fucking same here. And then they project onto the space where it's like, no, it hasn't. It's a you thing.
Yeah. I literally said this yesterday because I was saying like, I feel like I am growing on social media quite fast and I'm hitting my goals and my targets and all the things. But if I wanted to, you know, go and gain 100K in the next month, I probably could
Yeah.
in the complete wrong way.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But I'm choosing to stay in my lane because I know it's sustainable, it's realistic, and yeah, I'm growing at a slower rate compared to maybe someone else, or, you know, I'm just going to say like Annabelle, for instance.
Yeah.
She's growing so fast, so I could then go running content at the moment, popping off, like put myself in that area, which is not me at all, purely to, you know, gain the followers or whatever, when it's just not authentic to me at all. And that just, I know that feels icky. Like I wouldn't put myself there.
And and I see that in like the business space, and that's what like kind of Riley and I have been having a conversation about, where it's like this thing, like this theme of like hustle and grinding and grit and like all of these things to max extremes. And it's like, especially as women too, where everyone's just applying these concepts and not actually applying it to themselves in their own situations, where it's like you're running yourself into the ground. And like I was speaking to one of my clients who does like holistic coaching with like the women's cycle, and she's like, you shouldn't be training like that, you shouldn't be doing that in business, like in that stage. Like we can't actually be taking, you know, inspirational speakers like Alex Hormozy and like their approach to business and how they're doing it and try and replicating it and go like, you're a lazy fuck, like wake up at 4 and like do, like why are we shaming people?
Literally sleep in. If you're in your luteal phase and you're menstruating and you're tired, sleep in.
Yeah.
This
Sleep
is
in.
also where it seriously just goes to, you have to stay true to yourself no matter what, because I had a similar thing. I'd say end of last year, I had a discussion with someone that like, you're not doing enough, blah, blah, blah. And I was starting to get in my own head. I'm like, okay, shit, I'm not doing enough. So then subconsciously I started copying other people in a way. I'm like, okay, they're doing more for me than me. What are they doing? I'm going to do this. Then maybe I'll be viewed as hardworking.
It's the exact cycle, isn't
And
it?
what happened, I completely didn't do anything that I originally said I was going to do. Then I got overwhelmed. I took a step back from absolutely everything and just focused on myself. And then now I feel like I'm at such a good place where I'm like, okay, cool, now I'm ready to now put the stepping stones in place. I focused on prep and now I'm back into my business and actually staying true to myself and what I want to do. It makes a huge difference.
You
Yeah,
outsource
it
your
does.
power on someone else to gas you up, to have that motivation versus like coming into your own lane and like you are your own motivation. Then you don't need someone like fucking blowing smoke up your ass to
in
get
our
motivation.
situation too, like if you're investing in a coach or a mentor, and I know, you know, you both have coaches in your own ways and industries, you do that because you crave and desire support. It's not so I can become this person. You know, you share the same values. There's something about them that expands you. So that's your reason for opting in. And this is a cool conversation, because I think too, with seeing this kind of theme and change with people kind of going back to, you know, jobs or no longer doing their business or pursuing a business or whatever it may be, a lot of it is coming down to, I think, people actually seeing it for what it is, and also the requirement conversation. You know, we spoke about earlier, it actually can take 10, 15 years. It's actually going to take a lot of work. And then when they come in and they do it for a year or two and they're not seeing the success, that they potentially thought they would have within that time, it's, oh, I don't actually like this, it's not for me. And also, that's perfect. You're allowed to decide, this actually isn't for me. Because entrepreneurship is hard, you know, when you don't have the safety. And every single month there are pressures that come with running your own business. There's admin, there is, you know.
You just can't switch off.
You can't switch off. And that's not for everyone, and that's perfect and that's fine. But I think there's a theme online at the moment with MLM, digital marketing, drop shipping, coaching, influencing, whatever. Like name your online space. Digital marketing, there's 1,000, where everyone's jumping on it because all you're seeing when you're scrolling is 10K months, 20K months, cash injection, this, that, the other, make money online. A lot of it's not authentic content because people would be sharing monetary wins. And to be honest, I've really moved away from sharing income and things like that online. Not to say that I never would as, you know, coaches in a business space, but it's not always a clear indication of what's happened or what you did to get that payout or that amount of money. So even for me to share a payout right now and be like, I'm making so much money in my business, give context. Like you took 5 years of building a personal brand to get there. There's so many things, right, that contribute to you having that result.
Also, maybe you just launched a container that everyone paid up front for.
Exactly. Yeah, maybe someone paid in full.
And this is like, and it's all amazing. It's all amazing. However, context.
Yeah.
So what's happening is someone will share like, I joined digital marketing a month ago and I've made 10K. okay, context, how did you acquire that? And then you see 3,000 comments of people opting into whatever the thing is to join. And it's like, don't get it twisted. It's not a guaranteed outcome. And then you see people slamming it or quitting or whatever because it wasn't as quote unquote easy as they thought. And it's like, it actually was never easy. You know, it was always going to require a lot of you. And again, I think just a lot of people come in, go, oh, fuck, this is actually hard. I want to go back because this is all this and that. And that's okay.
So I think the biggest thing is just staying true to yourself and not copying others, which is pretty much overarching thing what we're saying here. But especially in our level of friendship, we all do such similar things but so different, and we've managed to not intertwine ourselves or not be like, okay, Taylor's doing this course, maybe I need to do that course, or like Riley's done this, I need to do that. Like we've all managed to stay so true to ourselves, and also we all know our own strengths, we all know our own weaknesses, and now we're actually leveraging off that. And I think that's why this friendship does also work so well, because there's no comparison, there's no jealousy or anything like that, because we keep like constantly building each other up, helping each other. And I think in the online space at the moment, it's more so of a note of tall poppy syndrome. And we've been discussing this on the podcast quite a bit. It's like someone's doing well. Oh, well, they're doing well because of X, Y, Z. And then it's like, well, you're taking away their success. And I don't think anyone can be as happy for other people's success, especially like in this industry. It can be hard.
I find that people will take away other people's success because they don't have it.
Yeah.
So then they make them wrong for it. So then they feel better for it.
Yeah.
It's just fucking frustrating.
Yeah.
But I think too with us in our friendship, like I know for a fact if I could do something better, use like a drop of a hat, one of you would call me and be like, this is your strength. Why don't you implement this into your business? And then you could make this or do that and launch this. Yeah. Like there's never, like how many ideas have I come to you with like, you should do this, you should do that. And then sometimes like at early days, it used to catch you by surprise and you used to be like, wait, you're trying to help me in my business? Like, what do you mean?
I still think to this day, sometimes I'm like,
But isn't it crazy how we get so used to that? I think I posted it this morning on my story, but I said, I was like, oh, my corner of the internet's for the girls who are here to, you know, support each other and not be in competition with you. If we just band together, like literally link arms and move forward in life, that is so much stronger than all of us sitting in a corner of a room pointing fingers. You know, it's like move together because there is enough money in the world, there are enough clients in the world, there are enough people in the world to have the followers, have the success, have the listens, have the downloads, have the clients. We're not in competition. Yes. And there's so much of that. And I think, you know, it's so unfortunate that like Australia, New Zealand, like our little corner of the world, tall poppy syndrome is just such a thing.
And it just was so evident after LA, like just coming home and dealing with what I've dealt with. I'm just like, why can we not lift each other up? Why can't we support people for the business that they want to they want to launch, or for people wanting to help people and then they're made wrong for it? It's like, why? Like you have your business and it's successful, so stick to that. And then let me do mine and let it be successful on its own.
And then let us be successful together.
Yeah.
Because there's enough room and space. And it's always just threat, you know, when someone is challenged by your success or what you're building or your conviction and what you're doing, that's always going to be a mirror for them. And unfortunately, because of the culture of tall poppy syndrome, and like we grow up with it. We all grow up with it, you know. It's down to like, don't try and cross country in grade 4 because that's uncool. You know, it's ingrained in us to not try. It's ingrained in us to not be successful. It's ingrained in us to be cool. It's ingrained in us to fit in, belong, be accepted. And what we do challenges that. Yeah. And the biggest thing is people will hate on you and judge you and put you down until you're winning. And then they want to know you. And then they want to be around you. And then they want to benefit from you.
Shit on you whether you're winning or losing. So you may as well do what makes you happy.
Yeah. And find your people. Like, get so
and
small in your
circle. Don't fucking let them go.
No, and just get so tunnel vision on the people in your life where all that external noise is like, oh, are there people outside of these 4 walls?
I literally feel like that. I'm just like in my own fucking like little bubble right now. And like the best thing I have done in business this year is like not sharing so much, like even down to like there's even a lot I haven't even told you about. And I'm like, oh, I'm doing this thing. Like, it's just like coming into just like shutting the fuck up. And it almost like, it's like this level of like practicing next level restraint and like not the quick dopamine hits, because then too, I feel like you're more unfuckwithable, because then you just do something, people are like, oh, what? And it's like, they don't even get a chance. Like,
You're not talking about it for 6 months.
yeah, like you were saying that thing with like how it's like technically like, this is woo woo, but like bad karma to put like, oh, I'm traveling here, because then people's like bad energy can like affect like your trip. It's kind of the same thing where it's like in business, it's like, actually just shut up. Don't even tell anyone. Like, yeah, tell your close circle and the people that you can trust if you want to, but like just do it, because then they actually can't fuck with you. Like, I've already done it. Try me now.
Then we always have this conversation. Then you actually have to prove to yourself that you can do it too, because there's no one. You've already had that dopamine hit of being like, oh my gosh, that's so exciting that you're doing that. You're like, oh, cool, I don't need to do it anymore.
Well, validation before you even
Achieve.
do the thing. So it's even, someone, you can use the example of clients. Like, if someone came to you and they're like, I'm going to opt into you one day, or I'm going to buy your course, or I'm going to start coaching with you, whatever. You're not celebrating them in the I'm going to.
Yes.
You're celebrating once they're in. And same for our own experience where, if it's like, I'm going to move to Bali. I could have said that for months, right? Like, I'm going to move. And you're like, so exciting. So exciting. Instead, it's like, I booked a one way.
Yeah. I leave in 10 days.
Because you just want to be someone who actions. And like Tay said, you just need to strengthen that part of you where it's like, oh, can I just not share, not get that validation, not get that dopamine, action behind the scenes, and then reap the benefits once I create it.
It's like understanding why you're sharing it.
I think that's
like,
a big difference.
I, after this podcast, let me tell you, best believe we're going to go through a whole lot of shit that's been going on in all of our lives, but we're sharing it because now it's like we're time to open up and get support. And like, there's things that I'm about to share with the girls that I'm purely saying it for the support and the wanting to find clarity and getting like my people's opinions, but it's not for me to share online right now because I'm going through it and I'm ready to find clarity on my own and figure it all out. But it's understanding the reason why you're sharing something with said person.
Agreed.
There's a lot of we're kind of just like going off on a bit of a tangent now, but I think it makes sense around like reactivity as well. For a lot of people online, because it's so instant and you can share so instantly, and especially I'm kind of more speaking from the business space because that's what we're a part of, or the coaching industry and that side of things. Stop being so reactive. Like, when something happens, you don't need to speak to it an hour later. Sit with it. I have a rule for myself where, especially if something has elicited any type of reactivity, whether I'm angry, sad, grieving, confused, overwhelmed, whatever, you have to come back to a neutral, regulated state so you can, one, extract the lesson, and two, have some wisdom to actually share from that. So even having gone through a breakup for the last 6 months, I was never going to speak to that during that process until I felt like, one, my nervous system's calm, I have clarity, I've had space and time, and I actually have some value to share. If I spoke to it, I think like, early days.
It just would have been like mumble.
Chaotic.
And there's just no reason to do that. And I feel like
It's not beneficial for anyone involved.
No. And of course, there's always going to be like lenience and context to this dependent on people's situations. But I do think that can be a little bit of a blind spot, and where people become unstuck, where it's like, it all just feels weird and I'm this and I'm that. Calm down. Have your own process and then share in whatever context that may be.
Yeah.
I think that's huge.
Love it. Wow. Do we want to finish with a few of these questions for a
Saucy
little bit?
There's some little
light and heart.
Pick
lighthearted.
These
pick
are
wisely.
who is more likely to questions. Do we just like, should I ask the question and then we just like say it?
Yeah.
Did a team vote.
But we'll just go around the room and say it.
Who is more likely to accidentally send a sexy text to the wrong person?
Well, I feel like it's one of the single girls.
Yeah. I feel like accidentally.
I feel like you. Yeah. I'm pretty thorough.
For like, for clumsiness, I feel like it could be you.
And
I would agree.
I'm the worst responder to people in general. So
Yeah.
I'd be flat out even texting
The amount, because I've screenshotted something recently and sent it to a few people.
I feel like you have done this.
Oh yeah, I've done it so many times.
Why
I
are
like
we even
triple check
contemplating?
every single message.
That's
yeah.
so
Yeah, okay, Lil, that would be you.
Who's more likely to, don't mind the wording of this.
Okay.
Who's more likely to get caught doing something naughty in public?
I reckon Tori.
I was like
just
gauging the
remembered.
response.
Naughty in what sense? Like sexual naughty?
New Year's?
That's pretty naughty to me.
What was
Wait.
New Year's?
Oh, that was news. I had to think so hard. I'm like, what happened?
Oh, we had sex in the cubicle toilet.
Yeah. At a festival.
Yeah.
That'll do
FYI.
it. She came back and told us, and I was like, bro, that's
I
just gross.
was so proud of it because I am not a spontaneous sex
Because we're
person.
playing
Yeah.
Never Have I Ever in the car coming up, and you're
Oh.
like, fuck, I don't have like anything. So you're like,
Any
you know what?
public
I'm gonna
That's
have
so
something.
New Year's resolution, somewhere fun to have sex.
She actioned that one quick.
It was tight.
Um,
Not me, the cubicle.
Tori's got a
Fuck.
tight puss.
Oh my god.
Next question.
Oh, just for
Who's-
the girls.
Who's more likely to ghost someone after a first date?
Riley.
Riley.
Let's go someone.
Ghost.
Oh, go Riley.
Who's more likely to get ghosted?
Lily.
Oh, Lil.
Two nuts, right? It's
Too
actually
soon.
funny.
So
But
sorry.
maybe this is just a big blind spot for me. Maybe I'm just ghosting so I never have to feel ghosted or rejected.
That's a great one.
I don't
So you
think,
could be onto something.
I
there,
don't
girl.
think you would like being rejected.
Oh, actually
reckon?
not.
I no.
I don't think
mean,
you
I know
allow.
you wouldn't.
I don't think you allow for that to happen.
Yeah, that's
No,
why
but
she goes.
Also, context to my ghosting is
That's pretty ghosty.
21 years older than me.
No, the other one that was like kind of nice to you, and you just ghosted the poor fella.
Next.
There's her triggered moment. She's frustrated at Taylor. Who's more likely to flirt their way out of a speeding ticket?
Probably me or Riley.
I'm
not paying for that shit.
I am not paying
Us
for
trying to
that
get
shit.
into the fucking Burley Pav that time when Riley's license was expired. I was like, surely, like,
I was gonna say I actually reckon Taylor for this one, but not in
Oh.
a not yeah.
No, because
Because
she's
I-
so...
manipulative.
Yes. Like I feel like you can. It's not flirty. It's sweet talking your way out of something. Like if
Yeah.
you want. If we want to have a free pizza or something, I'm just like sure that you can get it.
I reckon you're like cunning.
Yeah, I can like
Yeah.
swindle. I feel.
Yes.
Yeah, you're a
Yeah.
swindler.
I was
The
a
Burley
swindle.
Pav, fuck them, honestly.
Oh, I can never.
I saw a video of that
TikTok.
Yeah, the
Yes.
Seki. Actually, fire.
I got triggered watching that
Literally.
video
Like,
because I was like, wow.
change something. Change him.
Just
Change the rules.
change the music, do.
Like, you're a beach club.
But I had
Chill
a
the fuck out.
license. I had a license.
You had a license.
And he said if it was half an hour earlier, it would have been fine.
You
That's
also
what's
had a
fucked.
photo of your passport.
Yeah, the other fucking underager walked in. Nah, don't.
And I
let's not
literally
go
said,
there.
I don't even drink. I'm like, I'm
Put a
going through a crisis. Give me one night.
But Pink Monkey was so much better.
Hey,
so.
look,
It
it,
was-
turned out pretty
it was
good, didn't it?
Doesn't matter on the dance floor.
Like,
Who's more likely to end up going viral for something embarrassing?
I'm gonna say myself.
Yeah. Because you would post it to the internet.
Yes.
Yeah.
Like, it wouldn't happen to me because that shit's not going anywhere.
Yeah. I'd happily
100%.
post it or not tell them to take it down.
Yeah.
Can you make this viral?
Who's more likely to spill a secret?
Tori.
Side-eye Tori.
Yeah, Tori.
Yeah, probably me.
I love the honesty. She's like,
Yeah.
yeah, no, that's me.
Yeah.
Who's more likely to laugh at the worst possible moment?
Lily.
Me.
Yeah. I feel like all of us to a certain degree.
Yeah.
Once
Yeah.
one of us goes, we're all gone.
Yes.
It's almost like if you can't cry, laugh. Is that
Yeah.
what you're saying?
Yeah.
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 My coping mechanism.
Should we finish with one thing we're grateful for?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
I'm grateful for us being back together. Like,
Same.
That is
hands down.
1,000%. That's all
the way I've been looking for, like, how many times have I said?
She actually doesn't shut the fuck up about it. I'm like, yeah, I'm excited too, but I haven't thought about it 24/7.
I've literally thought about 24/7. Like,
Yeah.
I'm
Yeah.
good now. My girls are here.
Yeah. For the last 2 weeks before I came here, I was like, what I would give. You know, when
Yeah.
you feel desperate, I'm like, what?
Yeah, desperate for that girl
I would
energy
give.
time.
Yeah. I mean, I flew home for it.
Yeah.
Here we are.
This is
It's
true.
so interesting because, like, high school, like, growing up, like, I was just not a girl's girl. I was just
Neither.
like, girls are bitches.
I
Like,
was a girl's girl.
You were
I
a
see
girls
that.
girl. I feel like you've got a good group of like, and you still see
I
your
do,
friends and
yeah.
stuff.
Yeah,
back
no,
home.
I'm not a girl's girl. If Lil's a girl's girl, I'm definitely
I
not
was a guy's girl.
Yeah,
I was in
same.
the boys group.
Yeah, I was just like, and they would just bitch behind your back, and they were
Yeah.
nasty.
I was about to say that before with friendship, like how how you were saying, like, you've got to be cool in year 4 cross country, all that sort of shit. Like in school, you had to have the most friends. Like to be popular, you had to have all the
Yeah.
friends. Whereas
You had to
now-
be friends with the year above you.
Yes, and now it's like definitely.
should-
I'd
So
always
do
DM
an
the boys in the
episode
year
on
above
that.
me.
Yes.
Struggle.
But now it's like you want the smallest amount of friends with the best quality, like
Yeah.
quantity over quality 10 times over.
I can literally count my hands on friends on one hand, and it's such a sleigh.
Yep.
But you don't have capacity too. Like we're all so busy. We don't really see each other often at all.
Or we
I mean,
don't text
We're
either.
all- But
It's the other thing.
Yeah, it's so interesting.
Or we do and we don't reply.
I think
also
it's
that.
cool when it's like you just come into like really fucking secure like friendships and relationships, and I think the internet or like society gives you these like narratives of what friendships have to look like, where it's like, yeah, you just have to remove all of these expectations, and then it's like you just to come into like, I cannot remember the last, like we FaceTimed yesterday like briefly, but before that I'm like, I don't fucking remember the
But
last
equally,
time. Like
I could pick up the phone at any moment in time and call any one of you.
Yeah.
yeah,
About
yeah.
anything.
Yeah.
And I do think with social media, you do stay connected randomly.
Yeah.
Like it sounds silly,
Yeah.
It's true.
but you're constantly seeing your friends every single day because we're all on social media.
Yeah, it does make a difference.
And we listen to each other's podcasts and it's weird, and then we'll text being like, oh my god, no way, this.
Yeah.
Anyway, it works.
If there's something major, best believe we're on that fucking voice
Yeah.
memo ASAP.
What'd you text last night, Tori? You were like, girls, attention.
Yeah, because I sent the screenshot.
Oh,
and
we had a conversation about it. We were just like,
Oh, that's what happened.
I know. That's what I was trying
We're
to
sitting
figure
on
out.
the
'Cause I
couch
was
and
like,
Lily's like, they haven't responded to me. And I was like, hold that thought. SOS, girlies, urgent.
and then I was like, here. Yeah. And I was like, Tori hasn't like told us that. I thought that in the shower.
We had a full like 20-minute debrief.
yeah. We were just like full
Oh my
like,
God,
oh
what
yeah,
the hell?
yeah. That's what it was about.
But I feel like that always happens. You talk about it and then you just forget to.
But you think you've addressed the person.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, you were there.
Yeah.
Come on.
It's over.
That's
Yeah.
so
It's
funny.
actually been discussed
I
about.
don't respond to
It's
anyone's
okay.
not
text.
that funny. Let's
Are
go
we-
have lunch so we can
I'm
chat.
starving.
Thank God, let's do
so
this.
hungry.
All right.
All right. Thank
Love
you
you guys.
so much for listening to another week's episode, and we're so grateful to have you guys on. I'm sure we'll do part 2, maybe a little bit more
Structured?
but that's like not part of us, so probably not.
Yeah, not today.
Anyways, hope you have the best week. We'll talk to you next week.
Bye.